And your records are not something that they can just jump over.
Right.
This is just the illusion for them.
Yeah.
Literally, this challenge is so huge that you are setting, that you have raised the bar there. Hello, my friend, and welcome. This is your moment. I'm Katarina Miletic, and you are listening to the podcast that will challenge you to think with your soul and believe that your only power is inside you.
Okay.
Hello, and welcome to This Is Your Moment. This episode is about what happens when you stop waiting for others to go first, when you take matters into your own hands, and when you decide to lead yourself. It's about commitment, it's about courage, and setting the standards that no one else saw coming, including us.
Today, you'll meet the very first athlete to complete the Rimpage Real Life Challenge, to complete his goal, and you'll learn about the ripple effect that has caused. If you'll stick with us till the end, we'll reveal what that is.
Hello, there he is.
Hello.
Hey, man.
Good to see you, Ashton. How are you feeling?
Much better.
I just wanted to say I'm so grateful that you are well. And that was a scary for all of us to see you there in the hospital. But thank goodness that it's just your body reminding you, hey, we gotta keep things in balance.
Right.
Yeah.
And no other symptoms since then?
No.
Okay. Good.
Feeling much better.
Great. Okay, first question is about the goal you set for yourself to reach the 300 win milestone. Please tell us what made you select that goal. Why now? Why was this the time for that goal?
Because I know that I've already reached 200 wins. And so, I wanted to kind of go the extra mile and try to get like 300 wins and push myself. Because like every 100 win milestone, it means something to me. So, just having that, it feels great. It feels amazing. So.
Okay. And you said at the start, you warned us, you said there will be a plot twist. And yes. I want to know what in the world made you decide to shorten the time and keep that to yourself.
Yes. No, definitely. Because I wanted to kind of do something different to where I could push myself, and I wanted to make a goal within a goal. So, doing that kind of made me push myself even more. Because it's one thing, me reaching that goal, but when I give myself another goal, it's like, so I got another, hurdle to jump over. And it's kind of like, it's fun at the same time, but it's like motivating,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So extra motivation. And did anything significant shift inside you when you decided to do that? Because this was your own challenge inside the challenge that you revealed to the public who was following your journey.
It just made me go that extra mile, made me push myself and prove something to myself. Because, I knew that I could reach the goal, but what can I do to kind of bring that full potential out of myself? And I wanted to do that. I wanted to find a way, and like going to different gyms in one day, it was challenging, but it was something, I felt like would be worth it and kind of get me to like find more people I could play against, more matches and different people I could play like with different skill sets and just, just trying something different. So I wanted to kind of push myself a little extra more, like extra.
Ashton, where does that drive and that hunger come from?
Man, just life. Like I said, I know I got something to prove to myself, and so many things I had to go through to understand like what it takes. And you have to really want it. The only way to, to make it happen is through actions. So I can't just keep dreaming about it. I gotta apply it. And that's what I tell myself each and every day. Like I have to, take a step and just continue to grow and get better. And the only way I can is if, I go the extra mile and I keep pushing myself each and every day like it's my last.
Good. Let's talk about that journey, how it was and what it took. You already said that you wanted to grow. Do you know like what is the mental part of your game that changed the most during this challenge in your attitude or approach?
Being patient with myself, but also not taking things for granted. Like I mentioned last time, like tomorrow isn't promised, so I want to have that mentality, not taking things for granted. Like, I mean, even looking at Kobe Bryant, he's a prime example. His work ethic and everything that he did. Like, I look back on that, and he's not here, today. Rest in peace. But it just goes to show you never know when your time comes, so you have to give it your all and push yourself. And that's always my mentality each and every day.
Amazing.
So that's related to the mental game. Now shifting to the physical aspect of it, what physical habits or daily choices helped you stay consistent during the 23 days of that challenge?
Sacrifice, like as far as food, like the type of foods that I'm used to eating versus the one that I know I need to eat to take, to treat my body well and take care of myself. Also, just not overdoing it, like just kind of giving my body rest and learning how to balance. How Katharina, talked about is very important. So I'm just learning how to balance that. Yeah, I want to work hard. I have to push myself, but I also have to, come to the realization that it takes time. You don't want to overdo yourself and you have to make time for yourself, and that's giving your body rest. But I also push myself and go the extra mile. Like if even when I'm tired and fatigued, mentally I push myself and say, no, you gotta go that extra mile. You gotta keep going, you gotta push yourself. So when I'm playing against people, I do that. I don't try to settle. Like I try to just, how can I say it, bring the best out of myself.
Mm.
Thinking, like reflecting on the 23 days of the challenge, was there a low point, either physically or mentally, when you wanted to quit, that idea crept in? And if so, how did you address it?
Yes. Like when I got off of work, I was tired, I was exhausted, I felt drained. But I told myself I gotta reach this goal. So, I have to do what I gotta do. And I don't know if y'all can tell, like in the videos of talking about the matches that I did like afterwards. Like you
Uh-huh.
can kind of see it in my face, like I'm just drained and
Yeah.
tired. So like looking back on that, I'm like, yeah, I mean I did that. Like I had to that's where I had to push myself, because sometimes, we'll be so tired off work and just want to go home and lay down. But I know I'm not gonna get nowhere with that. I feel like otherwise I'm gonna be stagnant if I do that. But
Yeah.
if I just say no, go to the gym and be disciplined, then I know then when I walk in that gym, it's just a different feeling to me
Yeah.
that it makes me want to go get it, and I feel good about that because I'm pushing myself. I'm putting in the effort to do what I got to do to reach that
Hmm.
goal.
Well, you said that we could see that you were tired and even exhausted in some of those check-in points that you were sending to us. That was evident, but also what was evident was that drive inside you. The more tired you got, somehow the more determined. And of course, you were sharing this journey publicly because Patrick and I were posting these updates on the social media and everything. Did that what was that like sharing the journey publicly first? And then did it in any way change how you showed up for this challenge?
Yes, great question. Looking back on it, like I'm appreciating it because it just shows like what it takes to get to that goal, to get to that point. And so it's something I'm new to and I'm not used to doing as far as like vlogging and, talking about my personal life because, I usually keep things to myself.
Uh-huh.
But I know how important it is for the world to see so people can relate to it, also see like where I started versus where I'm currently at now or where I'm going to be, in the future. So I also learned like how to be more vocal and just kind of put myself out there more because, it's one thing just keeping how you feel to yourself, like it can only do so much versus when people can understand you, they you can reach out to other people in various ways and it helps them like in life period. So it makes me feel better and just the way that you guys provided that information to me helped me open up more. So
Yeah. I
I
think
knew you should mention
yeah.
that.
I think that was part of the challenge for you. That part was challenging to open up and let people in so they could learn more about you. And like you said, that does help them. Speaking of the Rimpage WhatsApp, that's where we put the performance coaching content. Can you talk about what role that played in the challenge. How did that support affect you?
Just
Yes,
knowing that you had somebody in your corner, you were not alone on this journey.
yes. It's helping me understand what it takes, the ins and outs, the good and the bad, and just understanding like in the midst of like reaching a goal that everything isn't always going to be perfect. And that's okay, but it's about how you get through it. And like looking at the videos and just doing what I have to do despite what I'm feeling, how I'm going through mentally, physically, like I'm still doing what it takes. And it makes me appreciate it even when it's something like when I look at the videos and say, wow, I've done this, like this is what I did, despite what I was going through. So it definitely helps me put the pieces together to see the big picture, if that makes sense. So you just have to understand and be patient with yourself and just know that like each and every day it takes time to grow and you can see that. You can see it in action, you know?
Mhm.
Mhm. Oh my goodness. And what action that was. 54 wins in 23
Yes.
days. That is just huge just to even imagine. And how did you put your body and your mind and your soul as well through this journey? I want to know, is there one game that just meant more than other games? And which one and for what reasons?
I wouldn't even say just one game. I would say there was like multiple games and it was that day because that's when I remember I had to do those 20 matches to make sure I reached the goal, right? On the last check-in. But this time it made me I told myself I'm going to do this. I don't know how, when, where, or whatever, I told myself that. So I'm trying to have that mindset and that mentality of like when I tell myself something, I actually do it.
Oh,
And so I said I'm gonna try to get this many matches. And so I said, okay, I'm gonna go to different gyms. Like I was saying, I never really done that because you have to drive to different locations, whether it's Saxe, Capel, Richardson, like it was various locations. But I had faith in knowing that I'm gonna make a way. And somehow it came to me. Like I envisioned it, but it still came to me. It's like there were people who wanted to play me, or there's people that I wanted to play, and I still got those matches done. And when one person see me play, they was like, "No, I want to play you next." And then it just happened that way. And
Mhm.
it's crazy how it unraveled. But when I more the story is when I say something, I want to mean it, and that's
Mhm.
the only way I'm gonna get somewhere. If I just think about it, it's not gonna happen. But if I
yeah.
think about it and apply it, it is. And that's what I told myself.
I mean, you showed us really what strong focus and drive can do. There is no doubt that you have grown as a player and also as a human being. What did this journey, this particular goal, teach you about Ashton? Who are you becoming in this process? Is there anything that has changed, anything new there?
Yes, that my faith is strong. Um, and that's something I've been knowing. Like my faith is very strong, but I'm the type of person to give it my all. It's like a do or die situation to me. So I'm gonna have to do whatever it takes. I gotta make that sacrifice. It takes sacrifice. It takes effort. It takes hard work, consistency. And like I always say, not just consistency, but persistency. Like that's the only way I'm gonna get it. And I'm proud of myself because not everybody can do that, and you have to really push yourself and tell yourself you're not going to always have help. So I had to help myself in certain situations, even when I was tired, even when I didn't feel like it. I had to make sure that I made it happen. And we ran into a lot of issues. Even Patrick, like a lady, wouldn't even allow me to record in the
No.
LA Fitness. Just things like that. It's just things that's being thrown at you. It's just like life. Life throws a lot of things at you, but how do you respond? How do you react? Are you gonna let it tear you down, or are you gonna let it build you up? And in any situation, I've learned that I allow things to build me up and make me stronger, and that's what I did. So
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate that reflection.
Yeah. When you first started out with Rimpage, you started out with six other guys, and then other players joined in, and all of you had the same opportunity. And from then to now, you have just separated yourself from the rest of the pack, And now with every new achievement, you're setting a new standard for excellence in Rimpage. Talk about that standard, what it means to you, and what it should mean to new players who are coming into Rimpage.
Yes. If it's something that you really want to do, it'll show. Because we hear a lot of people speak it, we hear a lot of people talk, but does the actions align?
Right.
You can say one thing, but what are you doing each and every day to make yourself better or to actually reach your goal? And you have to understand it's not always going to be easy, but excuse after excuse will only get you so far. So it's like, don't make excuses, find a solution. And that's what I'm learning to do. I can easily give up and say, well, no, I can't do this because I have this going on. But you have to make time for yourself. And, like I said, you have to balance it out and find ways that you can do that because there's always a way. The question is, are you making a way for it?
Yeah.
Incredible. Really incredible. It just, I'm taking notes as you're speaking, as I often do. It's incredible. And I always see bigger picture than basketball. So for somebody who may be listening to this interview, who is thinking whether or not they should go after their dreams, what is the advice there? What is one thing that you can give them? How do you sum up what you just said there? That there are so many good things about how you approach this challenge and every challenge so far, because you have set so many records in Rimpage already. So is there anything that you can tell that person if they are in two minds whether or not to chase their dream? Is it worth it, and how to go about it?
Yes. Don't ever give up no matter what, because you're closer than you think each and every day. You're closer. You're getting closer and closer. As much as you want to give up, don't, because it's going to be worth it. It's going to be worth it.
Incredible advice right there.
You went through 4 rounds of King of the Court in the Next Big Star event, and you emerged as one of the finalists to compete in the championship round. Even though Josh Adams was outplaying everyone, he seemed like the easy favorite. You went through that and just outshined him. And then in the 3-point contest, the last shot you hit was the one that clinched it for you. And then when we started city battles, you rose in that and became #1. And then we gave you the 200 win challenge and you beat that. We gave you the 3,000 point challenge and you beat that. And now the 300 win challenge and you beat that. You've enjoyed a lot of success with Rimpage. What does success feel like?
And like it feels like an accomplishment. Like even within yourself, you start to grow more and more, and then you see there's always room for improvement, because once you reach one goal, milestone, or any accomplishment, like there's more. It makes you want to, grind even more. And it's just something I feel like even at this age now, it's like the older I get, the more that I want it, even than my younger self. Because as a kid, you never expect to go through the things that you go through in life. But as you get older, you see it from a different perspective, and then it gets you to understand it's more to it. It's more than just a game. It's even outside of the game, and it teaches you a lot of things in life. And then it makes you appreciate the growth in the little things. But those little things can make a big difference at the same time. So that's something I've realized, and I'm learning to create better habits for myself. And you're never too old, never too young to learn. There's always room and opportunity to learn and grow. And that's what it's taught me. That's what success has taught me. And I feel like I'm not even at my peak yet. Like I still have a long way to go. So
Incredible.
as long as I'm alive, I can't be stagnant or settled.
Absolutely. As long as we are here, there is still things that we could be doing, that there's more room to grow. That is how I see it as well. Well, Ashton, we know that you like surprises, you like twists, you like these plots, different plots within the plots. So we have one more surprise for you. You thought that you have come here for a check-in, but we have actually recorded this to be shown as this is your moment, because really this is your moment to shine. So we want to bring you in front of the podcast audience, which is wider than just basketball players. We have creative entrepreneurs and dreamers, people who, like you, want to give their best in every moment. So now we want to bring your voice within this new series. We want the world to hear your voice.
Oh,
Remember,
wow.
remember in your initial interview, we said those players who beat their challenge will come on the podcast.
Mhm.
This is your moment podcast. So
This is it.
yes, and this is long overdue.
Yep.
We've been wanting you on that podcast for a long time.
Few times we recorded, we thought we were recording,
Yeah,
and the Zoom didn't record, or at one time Zoom recorded, but something went wrong with the recording. So this is like third time lucky, and we were checking and double
yeah,
checking.
and I'm checking now to make sure it's recorded.
Okay.
Perfect. Do you forgive us for that?
Of course, of course. Why would I not?
Good. Good.
Well, there's a book coming, and you're going to be a part of that as well. Katerina's writing a book. That's why these questions are so important, and your story is so important. So, man, God's got a lot in store for you.
Absolutely. So the audience has had a chance to meet one of the heroes of this book,
Yeah.
because really you have given me a lot that ties into this traveling, this journey from setting a goal until you achieve a goal, and then to find yourself on a new level. And obviously, if you're still here, it's time to go further, right? Into the new wins.
Yeah.
That is fabulous, and I'm looking forward to thinking through with you and hearing what is your next challenge and next goal. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for your presence. If this conversation moved something in you, and especially if you have been inspired by Ashton's journey in his basketball story of this amazing creativity and resilience, you are warmly invited to join Fine Art Sanctuary, a creative circle for creative souls, where you can rediscover that part of you that wants to create something lasting and beautiful that honors your soul. Find us and Fine Art Sanctuary. You can find all the links in the show notes below. We would love to welcome you in. Thank you.
Bye-bye.